Welcome back to WION World is One. You're watching Speed News with me, Vidur Kathuria. Let's get started. US President Donald Trump says he's disappointed that Ukraine's president hasn't reviewed Washington's latest peace plan after days of negotiations ended without progress. Zelensky, however, called his recent talks with US envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner constructive, though difficult, and is set to meet European leaders in London and Brussels to continue peace discussions. US Special Envoy Keith Kellogg believes a deal is within reach. The Kremlin, meanwhile, says major revisions are needed, but has welcomed the new US national security strategy as broadly aligned with Russia's outlook, calling the current administration fundamentally different from its predecessors. Nigerian authorities have confirmed that 100 children kidnapped from a Catholic boarding school last month have been freed. The children were brought to the capital, Abuja, on Sunday and are expected to be handed over to local officials today. The abductions occurred in late November when armed men stormed St. Mary's School, taking 315 students and staff. Around 50 managed to escape, leaving about 265 still in captivity. While the release of the 100 children has been confirmed, details on how they were freed remain unclear. Benin's President Patrice Talon has condemned the attempted coup, which was thwarted by the country's army, and assured the public that the situation is now fully under control. This marks his first public statement since gunfire erupted in the capital. The group of soldiers appeared on state TV earlier announcing the dissolution of the government, but later Interior Minister confirmed the coup had been foiled. Talon, whose whereabouts remained unclear, expressed condolences to the victims of the attack and vowed to ensure those still held by the mutineers are safely recovered. This failed coup follows a wave of military takeovers across West Asia, including one in Guinea-Bissau last month. Residents of a rural town in Honduras cast their delayed ballots on Sunday, a week after the rest of the country voted. The 4,996 registered voters from San Antonio de Flores were finally able to vote after polling stations were shut on November 30th over allegations of sabotage and fraud. Military patrols and OAS observers oversaw the process. Presidential candidates Salvador Nasrallah, trailing Nasri Asfoura by fewer than 20,000 votes, urged residents that every vote counts. The outcome in this town could tip the nation's closest presidential race ever, which has been clouded by delays, frauds, claims, and controversy over US President Donald Trump's public support for Asfoura. Protesters in Aden are calling on Southern Transitional Council leader Aidaras al-Zubaydi to declare full independence and re-establish a southern state. Demonstrators cited widespread poverty, injustice, and marginalization as driving forces behind their demands, highlighting growing tensions in the region. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will not step away from politics even if it costs him a presidential pardon. Netanyahu has been on trial for corruption throughout his current term and has now requested a pardon from President Herzog. Opposition leaders Yair Lapid and Naftali Bennett have urged him to admit guilt and leave politics before receiving any pardon. His pardon request remains pending, with Herzog facing pressure from Washington. President Trump has repeatedly voiced support for a pardon, but Herzog says Israel's interests will guide his decision. Hamas has indicated it's willing to discuss freezing or storing its arsenal of weapons as part of a ceasefire with Israel. A senior official from the group said Hamas is open to a comprehensive approach to avoid further conflict. This proposal comes as mediators from the US, Qatar, and Egypt push to move into the second phase of a complex peace plan, which includes a multinational security force and the disarmament of Hamas. Israel, however, insists on Hamas's full disarmament, with Prime Minister Netanyahu threatening to take action if necessary. Netanyahu also mentioned a third phase of de-radicalization for Gaza, citing post-war examples from Germany and Japan. Britain is moving to integrate autonomous vessels and artificial intelligence with its warships and aircraft to strengthen naval defense and hunt submarines, aiming to protect undersea cables and pipelines from potential Russian threats. The announcement comes just days after Defense Secretary John Healey and his Norwegian counterpart visited Portsmouth to see unmanned boats and underwater drones in action, part of efforts to boost Ukraine's naval capabilities under the Royal Navy's Atlantic Bastion initiative. Millions of pounds have been invested in AI-powered sensors linking ships, submarines, aircraft, and unmanned vessels into a digital network, allowing faster decisions in tracking enemy threats. Peru's anti-drug authorities have seized 3.4 tons of cocaine concealed in a shipment of bananas destined for Belgium. The seizure, announced by Interim President Jose Jerry alongside the National Police, took place in northern Piura region. Officials say the operation highlights Peru's ongoing efforts to crack down on large-scale drug trafficking. Tens of thousands of women took to the streets across Brazil to protest gender-based violence following a string of high-profile cases. Demonstrations were held in Rio, Sao Paulo, and other cities, calling for an end to femicides, rape, and misogyny, with men also joining the marches. In Sao Paulo, protesters lay on Avenida Paulista to symbolize violence against women, while in Rio, dozens of black crosses were placed on the streets and signs read, "Machismo kills." Brazil recorded 1,492 femicides in 2024, the highest since the law defining the crime was passed in 2015. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is lighting up the island once again. New images released by the US Geological Survey show spectacular lava fountains shooting into the sky. This activity marks nearly a year since Kilauea began its current eruptive phase, reminding the world why it is considered one of the most active volcanoes on the planet. Scientists and local residents have been closely monitoring its fiery flows, which continue to reshape the landscape. The United Nations has urged Taliban authorities to lift their ban on Afghan women working in UN offices, warning it's undermining life-saving services across the country. Since returning to power in 2021, the Taliban has barred women from most public spaces and jobs, and in September expanded that ban to UN premises. The UN's Women's Agency says several hundred Afghan women staff are now forced to work remotely, even while supporting earthquake survivors and returning migrants. The Taliban has yet to respond, and earlier this year, the UN Refugee Agency suspended cash and for many returning migrants because it could no longer interview women. Hong Kong's legislative elections concluded on Sunday with a voter turnout of 31.9%, slightly higher than the 30.2% recorded in 2021. About 1.3 million of the city's 4.1 million registered voters cast their ballots for new lawmakers. Despite the slight increase, Sunday's turnout remains the second lowest in Hong Kong's electoral history. Political campaigning was interrupted in late November after a blaze tore through the housing blocks of Wang Fuk Court in northern Hong Kong, killing at least 159 people. India is providing essential relief to Sri Lanka in the aftermath of Cyclone Ditwa under Operation Sagar Bandhu. Around 1,000 tons of food, clothing and other supplies contributed by the people of Tamil Nadu have been sent to support those affected by the storm. Of this, approximately 300 tons reached Colombo this morning aboard 3 Indian naval ships. The relief materials were handed over by India's High Commissioner to Sri Lanka's Minister for Trade, Commerce and Food Security. India's aviation regulator has given Indigo CEO and senior officials a 24-hour extension to respond to a show cause notice as the airline enters its 7th day of major disruptions. Indigo says it has refunded or compensated 610 crore rupees and delivered 3,000 delayed bags so far. On Sunday, it operated 1,650 of its 2,300 daily flights after days of cancellations. The airline says it is making significant improvements and expects operations to stabilize by December 10th. Still, 650 flights were cancelled on Sunday across major airports, and Delhi Airport has warned of continuing delays. In India, a massive blaze has engulfed 4 timber shops in Munawwarabad. In Srinagar's Old City, officials report fire and emergency services along with local police rushed to the scene and launched an intensive operation to prevent the flames from spreading to nearby structures. The cause of the fire is still unknown and authorities are working to bring the situation under control. This November has emerged as one of the most polluted months in recent years for Delhi NCR, with all of India's 10 most polluted cities located in the region. Ghaziabad topped the list while the national capital ranked 4th. This is according to the Centre for Research in Energy and Clean Air. Other polluted cities include Noida, Greater Noida, Bahadurgarh and Hapur. Despite a drop in stubble burning emissions, local sources like transport and industry are now the main drivers of pollution. Experts say without targeted reductions in these sectors, pollution levels will remain dangerously high. Severe cold continues to grip North India, with temperatures dipping sharply across several states. In Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar recorded a minimum of minus 0.9 degrees, while the Amarnath Yatra base camp was the coldest at minus 4.3 degrees Celsius. Parts of Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan also shivered, with temperatures ranging between 3 and 7 degrees. The IMD warns that cold wave conditions are likely to persist in pockets of Madhya Pradesh, Vidarbha, Chhattisgarh and Odisha over the next 2 days, along with dense fog in several regions. US President Donald Trump has said that he would have a say whether a proposed merger between Netflix and Warner Brothers should go forward. Trump said the reporters as he arrived at the Kennedy Center for its annual award show that he will be involved in the decision. Netflix recently agreed to buy Warner Brothers, Discovery TV's film studios and streaming division for $72 billion, a deal that would hand control of one of Hollywood's most prized assets to the streaming pioneer. The Vault Christmas Market in Belfast concluded yesterday with organisers enforcing a complete ban on AI-generated art and products made using artificial intelligence. The two-day event hosted over 80 stalls, but only handmade, human-created works were permitted. According to the organisers, the move was supported by independent artists and addresses concerns over copyright and job impacts from AI. The market ran at Carlisle Memorial Church from December 6th to 7th, with free entry and public access. OpenAI has responded to rising user complaints about alleged ads on ChatGPT, clarifying that no advertisements are currently running on the platform. Many paid subscribers had reported seeing what looked like promotional messages for brands such as Peloton and Target. Chief Research Officer Mark Chen admitted The experience felt like an ad and said that the team has temporarily turned off such suggestions while improving accuracy and user controls. OpenAI executives reiterated there are no live ad tests, calling the messages part of app recommendations with no financial component. Asian markets opened cautiously on Monday, with investors eyeing upcoming Chinese trade figures and awaiting signals from the Federal Reserve. Japan's Nikkei 225 and South Korea's Kospi slipped slightly, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng showed small gains. Traders are staying cautious amid uncertainty over economic growth and central bank moves. Analysts say markets could remain on the edge this week depending on Chinese economic reports and any signals from the Fed about interest rates. Investors are keeping a close eye on developments before making big moves. Silver and copper have emerged as the top performing metals of 2025, outshining gold as global investors pile into industrial and precious metals amid ongoing supply constraints. Silver has nearly doubled this year, driven by ETF inflows and tight physical inventories, while copper has hit fresh multi-year highs on worries over global shortages. Analysts say the rally is fueled by a combination of investor demand, geopolitical concerns, and expectations of potential interest rate cuts that make non-yielding assets like metals more attractive. Gold, by contrast, has lagged as traders favor industrially linked metals poised to benefit from both economic growth and market volatility. Traders warn that volatility could continue as markets weigh central bank signals, global supply challenges, and ongoing demand from both industrial users and investment funds heading into 2026. Nearly half of Swiss voters back a proposal by the Swiss People's Party to cap the country's population at 10 million. The initiative aims to limit immigration and could trigger Switzerland's withdrawal from EU free movement agreements once the population threshold is reached. Supporters argue the cap is necessary to manage resources, housing, and infrastructure, ensuring the country remains sustainable as its population grows. Opponents, including the government and business groups, warn that restricting immigration could create labor shortages, harm economic growth, and reduce Switzerland's competitiveness. The proposal has sparked a heated national debate, highlighting tensions between preserving national identity and maintaining economic dynamism. In sports, Australia have taken a 2-0 lead over England in the Ashes with an 8-wicket victory in the second test in Brisbane. A 96-run partnership between Ben Stokes and Will Jacks helped England post 241. Chasing just 65, Australia never looked under pressure. They did lose Travis Head and Marnus Labuschagne early, and there were some late fireworks when Steve Smith and Jofra Archer exchanged words. But it didn't change the result. Australia reached the target in just 10 overs. Lando Norris has ended Max Verstappen's 4-year reign to become the new Formula One world champion. The McLaren driver needed a podium finish to secure his first title, and he delivered, coming home third behind Verstappen and his teammate Oscar Piastri in the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The result means Norris finishes the season with 423 points, 2 more than Verstappen. Norris now becomes the first British world champion since Lewis Hamilton in 2020, and the first McLaren driver to win the title since Hamilton's breakthrough season back in 2008. India's World Cup winner Smriti Mandhana has called off her wedding with music composer Palash Muchal. Mandhana confirmed the decision in a statement posted on Instagram, where she also requested privacy for both families. The 28-year-old, who finished as the second highest run scorer in the Women's ODI World Cup, will now shift her focus to the 5-match T20 series against Sri Lanka starting December 21st, after which she will lead Royal Challengers Bengaluru in the 2026 Women's Premier League. US President Donald Trump has awarded medals to the 2025 Kennedy Center honorees in an Oval Office ceremony on December 6th. The recipients include actor Sylvester Stallone, singers Gloria Gaynor and George Strait, rock band Kiss, and actor-singer Michael Crawford. Trump called them the very best in American arts and culture. Each honoree received a newly designed gold medal by jewelry brand Tiffany. The medal features the Kennedy Center image on one side and the honoree's name on the other. It hangs from a navy blue ribbon and replaces the traditional rainbow sash. Following the Oval Office ceremony, President Trump and First Lady Melania arrived at the 2025 Kennedy Center Honors red carpet in Washington. Trump is hosting the event for the first time as president instead of watching from the audience. During his first term, he skipped the ceremony. The 79-year-old announced in August that he would personally host this year's edition. Canadian singer Michael Bublé headlined the Vatican Christmas concert on November 6th. The 6th edition of the show was held in Paul Hall in the presence of Pope Leo. Bublé performed hits including It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Silent Night, and Ave Maria in Latin. After the show, dinner was served to more than 3,000 people in need. French director Irene Sehiri's film Promised Sky has won the top prize at the Marrakesh Film Festival. The film won the Golden Star Award at this year's 22nd edition. The movie follows marginalized African immigrant Ivorian women fighting for dignity. It explores complex family bonds amid social and economic divides. The film earlier screened at festivals in London, Zurich, and Lugano. The jury was led by director Bong Joon-ho, Jenna Ortega, Anya Taylor-Joy, amongst others. Singer Katy Perry has made her relationship with former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau official. The 41-year-old pop star shared photos from her Japan vacation, including pictures with Trudeau. One image shows the pair cozying together, while another shows them dining. Perry captioned the post, "Tokyo Times on tour and more." The couple first appeared publicly on October 25th in Paris on Perry's birthday.